So today I'm talking about a Nissan with the P0132 code, what it is, and how you go about fixing it. So what is a Nissan P0132 code? Well, it's an O2 sensor circuit high voltage bank 1 sensor 1. And what does this mean? Well, the onboard computer uses sensors on the exhaust to know how much oxygen's been burnt off during combustion, and it's seen a problem with one of these, so I have to be troubleshooting, know why. And bank 1 is always the side of the engine with the number 1 cylinder, and sensor 1 is going to be the first sensor that's going down on the exhaust. And so some of the possible causes of this, well, it could be a bad oxygen sensor, it could be an open or short in the wiring, it could be a bad harness connection, and possibly a blown fuse. And so the first thing to do when you get this code is to go locate the sensor 1 oxygen sensor on your particular Nissan, since there can be some differences. There could be multiple sensors sometimes, but usually there's 2 sensors. But what's going on with these sensors is you have sensor 1, which is called the upstream sensor. It's before the catalytic converter. And then you're going to have the sensor 2, which is the downstream sensor, and it's after the catalytic converter and sometimes right on it, but that's sensor 2. And so the first thing you want to do is go locate this sensor 1. And like I said, sensor 1 can be located a little differently. On this particular Nissan, you can see you can pop the hood open, and then right on the front, right there it is. It's right on the exhaust. And recently I had to change one out on a 2007 Nissan Versa, and it was on the top, but you had to take the battery out, and it's up over here. Here's the plug going to the O2 sensor right here. It's down over here, which was a little bit hard to get to. It's down in there. And so that's the first thing to do, is go locate this sensor 1 oxygen sensor on your particular Nissan. And so once you locate it, the next thing to do is examine the wiring harness. Be sure it's plugged in good. You can also check it for any opens or shorts or anything like this if you wanted to, but mainly just be aware that if there is any problem with the wiring, open, short, bad connection, then it could cause the same symptoms as a bad sensor. And another thing to keep in mind is that it's also on a fuse. And so here's a 2007 Nissan 350Z. And as you can see right here, it says heated oxygen sensor in number 85, which would be right over here. And if something happened and this fuse blew, then that circuit wouldn't be working. So that's something else to keep in mind, is that if a wiring problem can cause this issue and a blown fuse. But if the wiring all looks good and there's no blown fuses, then very likely you just need to swap out this O2 sensor. And you can test it if you wanted to. There's different methods for that. There's some good YouTube videos on that if you want to test it. But most people go and swap it out. It's a low-cost part. I'll jump over on Amazon to give you an idea what it looks like and how much they're going for right now. You can get both for $52. There's an upstream for $23, $22, and there's one for $46. So they're not super high-cost parts or anything. And at this point, very likely you need to swap it out. One thing to mention is that you might need a special tool to remove these and put them back in. Not all the time. Sometimes you can get to them without the special tool, but quite commonly you do. You want to examine it. Sometimes it's recessed in, and you have to have the special tool in order to get it in and out. I'll put a link down below in the description if you need to see what it is. But basically, it's just a special tool that lets you bolt it in and out. And so that's basically it. I just want to do a real quick brief overview of how you go about fixing a Nissan with the P0132 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.